Hello, I'm Milan Shlevinsky and you're watching Break the Fake. They make them, we break them, and tell you everything you need to know. So, today the first fake to break is apparently the limited ceasefire. Except we're not the ones to break it. The Russians did, according to Ukrainian sources. Don't believe me? Well, here is an article from the Kiev Post that actually explains it pretty neatly. Let's take a look. So what Kiev Post said, and not only the Kiev Post but also many other outlets from Ukraine, it apparently took Russia mere hours to break the ceasefire. Yeah. It was not supposed to be a full ceasefire anyway, but a ceasefire limited to energy infrastructure. So, here is what the Russians said right after the talks, if you don't believe me. During the conversation, Donald Trump put forward a proposal for the parties to the conflict to mutually refrain from striking energy infrastructure facilities for 30 days. Vladimir Putin responded positively to this initiative and immediately gave the Russian military the corresponding command. Can you guess what happened next? Let me tell you. Time for a quote. In the early hours of the 19th of March, Russian forces used drones to strike the railway power system in the Dnipropetrovsk region. End of quote. This comes from a report by the Ukrainian Railways, by the way, and here is a short clip of the aftermath. Also, the energy grid in the city of Solovyov also apparently took a hit yesterday after the talks between Trump and Putin came to a close. Plus, remember that Russia officially has always claimed it has never ever attacked any energy facilities in Ukraine. Surely, the Kakhovka Dam was chewed up by beavers then. Anyway, how did the ceasefire fiasco happen? Did Putin's orders get lost in the post? Or was it the work of North Korean troops who didn't understand the orders given and fired anyway? Actually, I'll tell you what it was. It was the folly of doing business with a former KGB spook. It was bound to happen. The Kremlin's finest propagandists, Margarita Simonyan and Vladimir Solovyov, are celebrating another imaginary victory. Trump deciding to shut down Radio Free Europe and Voice of America? A dream come true for the Russian state media machine, which thrives in an information vacuum. After all, who needs alternative perspectives when you can have a 24/7 broadcast of Solovyov foaming at the mouth about the internal superiority of Mother Russia?
Вот сегодня праздник у моих коллег на Арти, на Спутнике и прочее, потому что Трамп объявил о закрытии внезапно Радио Свободы и Голос Америки. Сейчас они закрыты. Это крутое решение со стороны Трампа.
Просто здесь что забавно, что как только прекратилось финансирование из американского Госдепа, закрылись все независимые СМИ.
Да, это прекрасно.
То есть какие же вы были независимые? И какое количество сейчас людей будет бороться в очереди за право работать поломойками и поломоями? Потому что больше ничего они не умеют. То есть несколько тысяч хронических бездельников окажутся на рынке труда. Кстати, обращаюсь к независимым журналистам. Сдохните, твари. Потому что вы лживые, мерзкие, гадкие, изменники Родины. Сдохните под забором.
Solovyov talking about the independence of the media. Would you ever expect that to happen? Also, of course, Solovyov, in his usual charming style, sends warm regards to independent journalists, the real independent journalists, saying, "Die, scum." Such refined rhetoric, worthy of a true intellectual heavyweight. The man who screams about Western cancel culture has no problem cheering for the destruction of media that dares to challenge the Kremlin's narrative. The clownish expert on Solovyov's show added, for decades, the editorial staff of Radio Liberty, the Belarusian service, as well as the Ukrainian service, have been a hotbed of the most thuggish of fascists.
На протяжении десятилетий редакция «Радио Свободы», белорусская служба, как и украинская, это были прибежища самых отмороженных фашистов. Их возглавляли долгие годы люди, которые напрямую служили полицаями, прислужниками у немцев. Именно в этих радиостанциях, на этих службах за американские деньги были сформулированы человеконенавистнические антигосударственные идеи, которые в итоге на Украине и стали господствовать вот в эти последние 20-30 лет. Радио «Свобода», ее, особенно украинская служба, несет прямую ответственность за ту драму и трагедию, которая разыгралась в Восточной Европе. Это фактически неонацистские организации, сформулировавшие и вещающие вот эту неонацистскую ложь на протяжении этого долгого времени.
Again, Russians talking about fascists. Guys, in your army, there is the Rusich unit. It's literally a neo-Nazi unit. Come on. But let's be honest here. If Radio Free Europe and Voice of America disappear, it won't be long before Solovyov starts ranting about a new Western conspiracy. Because without an enemy, what is he? Just an angry man yelling at the camera, dreaming about his lost villa on Lake Como. The glorious patriotic education of Russia's youth, where being late to sing the national anthem is practically a crime, and standing still like a statue is the ultimate act of devotion to the motherland. The principal in Ramienskoye clearly understands that true patriotism isn't about love for one's country, but about blind obedience and theatrical discipline. One wrong move during the anthem, and you might as well be a foreign agent.
Ты не понимаешь, что нельзя переодеваться во время гимна? Нет. Вы не понимаете, что нельзя двигаться во время гимна? Остановитесь в своих местах. Смешно, правда, Рябко? Так смешно, невыносимо. Не переодеваться и не двигаться во время гимна, а исполнять его. Стоя, выйди вот сюда и пой гимн. Вот сюда выходи. Все, занимайся делом.
So now, there are bullies in schools all across the world, but in Russia, the school is the bully. But why stop at forcing children to sing? Why not go all the way and draft them into the ever-expanding ranks of Putin's youth brigades? The Yunarmia, or as the more historically literate call it, the Putin Jugend, started as a voluntary organization. Though with the right amount of social pressure, voluntary starts looking a lot like mandatory. From 190,000 members to over 1 million, because nothing says free will like parents being subtly threatened into signing up their kids. And now, as if the Yunarmia was not enough, we have Lightning 2.0, a military patriotic game designed to train children's future soldiers for the great war against the West. Kids aged 7 to 21 are being groomed not for innovation, not for progress, but for war. Because in Putin's Russia, the future isn't about prosperity. It's about ensuring there is always another generation ready to die for the empire that never was. And so another episode of Break the Fake comes to a close. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.